Yeah, John Rugg, the lady from Thailand, she was just smashing the Dow Jones and making loads of money from that over a reasonable time period and scaling up and things like that. Really, really strong sort of trader on a 5-15 minute time frame.
Hello traders and welcome back to another We Are Funny Trading Plus podcast. Today we are joined by Simon and James, two founders of Funny Trading Plus. Welcome on the show.
Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
I'm good. I managed to get my Lucozade delivered. It cost me 12 quid to get 4 bottles delivered.
The only person I know who gets a Deliveroo for Lucozade.
It was a bit of a diva moment.
And there's Co-op next door.
I didn't realise. I didn't know that. This is like my coffee. Because I don't drink caffeine really, so it's like my sugar. It's beautiful.
No product placements on the show either, guys.
Yeah, sponsorship, please.
You've got like an FTP logo over the top.
Yeah,
of the
blur it out.
Can you track it on After Effects?
We'll have to see. But I think today's episode will be really cool to talk about. Actually, having both of you on the show, talking about a bit more about Funny Trading Plus in general and what it's really like being at the front of the company. So today's question comes from Imani from Morocco, and he says, as founders, what are some of the most fulfilling moments or success stories you've experienced witnessing traders thrive through Funded Trading Plus? So what's the first thing that comes to your head when we ask that question?
So the temptation is to go for the bigger ones, which we can talk about as well. The traders have had the big payouts, but you get people who are maybe in sort of less developed nations, Africa, for example, and things like that. And what may seem a smaller amount to someone maybe in our position in the West and things like that can be quite life-changing. So you see people with relatively modest accounts and they're withdrawing regular amounts of $50, $100, $150, and they'll message you and say it makes quite a big difference to them because you forget how strong the dollar is in sort of less developed nations like that. So I think those are the ones. Because I think idealistically, I see trading as like an equal opportunity thing. It's a case of it shouldn't matter what your background is, it shouldn't matter where you're from and things like that. You should all sort of get the opportunity to be able to succeed if you've got the skills. You want to put the work in, and there shouldn't be those sort of barriers and glass ceilings, if you like. Obviously, there is to some extent. You need to be able to buy an evaluation, but it's sort of it's quite an equal opportunity thing for me. So I like that.
Could you share one of the like big success stories that you have had since founding Funny Trading Plus in 2021?
Probably be John Rugg, wouldn't it?
Yeah, John Rugg, the lady from Thailand, she was just smashing the Dow Jones and making, loads of money from that over a reasonable time period and scaling up and things like that. Really, really strong sort of trader on a 5-15 minute time frame. And she ended up funding a scuba diving company. That was always her dream. Yeah, she took a good strong six-figure payout, a couple $100,000 or whatever it was, and she ended up she'd started the scuba diving company but wasn't able to finish it, I think, and then she ended up paying for it, and that was her dream thing to do, so she was able to fund it. I know she still trades on the side as well, but so that was nice as well.
What sort of emotions, because I know like you actually interviewed John Rugg, what were the emotions going through your mind, like when hearing that what you've created is actually funding somebody's like lifelong dream and goal?
It's a bit surreal, really, because it was a while ago now, wasn't it? But it was a little bit surreal, that one, because it was just like, oh, you actually can make a bit of a difference. Sounds a bit cheesy, doesn't it? But it was just sort of like, you can actually make a difference with the thing that you're offering.
Are they motivating? So when you do have these success stories, do they motivate you to know that you're doing the right thing and to carry on in the business side of things?
I would say so. I mean, kind of the interests are aligned in a way with us and traders. We're former traders ourselves, and we're entrepreneurs to a certain extent. Well, not to a certain extent, to a full extent. And seeing the success stories of traders is very, very motivating, and I remember the feeling of success as well, and it's nice to share.
Let's move away from trading. What key moments in business has like stood out for maybe both of you individually? Maybe you both have the same sort of like joint idea, but what moments stood out for you as like a business success? Any key moments?
For me, it would be definitely employing people and being able to build a culture that, if I do say so myself, is fairly reasonable. I've been in jobs in the past that haven't been great, let's say, and to kind of be able to lead on culture and hear some of the nice things that people say when they come into the company, and they better say nice things. You better think it's a good culture.
No, but talk to me about the pressures though. Talk to me, because I do hear stories about it being a bit hard, obviously, when things get tough. Did you feel the pressure of actually when your team grew from 5, 10, 15 to where it is at today?
Most earliest problems that we had with Funded Trading Plus was this explosive growth, which sounds great to everyone else, but trying to recruit staff, good high quality staff, as quickly as we were doing was really challenging. And I have a background coming from a recruitment agency, so I was able to leverage some of that a little bit. But you know, trying to find really high quality staff really fast. You know, we were hiring several people a month. From it just being me, Simon and Michael, we were hiring, you know, within the first 6 months there was 20 of us.
You can grow too quickly. It's a massive business risk growing too quickly. You can just destroy your reputation. You lose all sense of quality control while you're scaling. So yeah, it was a really challenging thing. Like I say, people think it's an amazing thing. Oh, you know, you need to grow, you need more staff because of how popular becoming, but it can be a real big business risk.
So we've talked about past personal and trading success from Fund Trading Plus. What would you say the future success would look like from a personal level, and what sort of success would you like to see from traders in Fund Trading Plus in the next coming years?
Well, for a personal level, we have all our other businesses. We have a property, we've got recruitment, we've got property development and other things like that. So continuing to expand and grow for that, but it ties into what James was saying. It's like we've got a core group of staff and some of their skills overlap into different areas of business. So we always want to be able to provide sort of opportunities for them, because you take on the sense of responsibility. It's no longer just about yourself. It's like you're paying for someone's mortgage, you're paying for someone's holidays, they're investing their career with you rather than elsewhere. So there's that opportunity cost, isn't there? So it's always a case of making our sort of big strategic goal is to make sure there's this solid foundation, make sure Funded Trading Plus is here for the long term, make sure all the other businesses are here for the long term, to make sure we can take care of all the again, cheesy family, if you like, of people who do make up, you know, the organisation.
Do you ever have any downtime? Because outside of Fund Trading Plus, you've obviously got recruitment business and the other couple of businesses that you mentioned now. Do you have any downtime?
I would say there are definitely periods where you get a little bit of downtime. More recently, there's not been a great deal of downtime. I think there was a day in 2020. No. When we started the business, there wasn't much downtime. It was 10, 11 hours a day, every day, including Saturdays and Sundays, for about 8 months. And then we gained half our Sunday back, and then all of our Sunday back, and then now we have some of our weekends most of the time back. Yeah, you've got to make time for downtime, and you've got to plan it.
I work every day. I do bits every day. I'm like in Discord or answering DMs or emails and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, it's not a hardship. It's a great thing to do, but there are times where you need to hard cut off. Like when I went to the Maldives recently, and there were issues, and I was working my laptop in the evening, I literally put my phone in the safe so I wouldn't check it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you don't realize how addictive it, or how much you're subconsciously reaching for your pocket to check your phone for work. So I had to put it, you know, it's like unlearning that sort of behavior. So I literally put it in the safe and just let my fiance have her phone to take pictures of food and all that crap that you millennials do.
So the myth behind work-life balance, then, real or it's not real?
Yeah, it's a bit, but it's difficult because you enjoy work. So it's like, well, I mean, as long as you're sleeping well, you're living a pretty healthy lifestyle. It's like we're working with my friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and those challenges as well. So I'm very happy with my work-life balance. I still do a lot of things, but I feel like I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it's great. You know,
it's what you love.
People want to hang out with you, people want to talk to you. You know, there's opportunities, always exciting stuff to do. So I wouldn't change my life for a second.
I think the key is, like you've just said there, Simon, it's if you enjoy it, then it doesn't really. Some days it can feel like you are working when it's highly administrative, or there's, you know, something, you know, wrong with the tech or something like that. But yeah, it's I'm a bit addicted to it, so I'm not really a good person to say. I kind of just.
But you're your best when you're focused and just sort of like engaged with work, aren't you? It brings the best out of you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, things like us getting the apartment in Manchester made a big difference to me personally, because we kind of enter the when me, Simon and Jamie are there, we usually go a couple of days a week. When we're in that kind of mode, your life intermingles with business, but in a really kind of natural and fun way. So you could be having conversations and strategic conversations, and then it kind of fades into a more personal conversation. Then you go out for a meal, and then someone will have an idea, and it's a really good, I like that the most. And I find that that's a better way to work for me personally. Some people are different. Some people need, you know, you set 8 hours and then a cut off, but I ebb and flow.
I couldn't do that. There's times I can't just switch on. There's times where I just need to feel it, when it's like, sometimes you're not in the mood for really like deep strategic conversation. Some people can just turn it on, and fair play to them. I admire that, but I'm not one of those people. If I'm not in the mood, it's written all over my face.
Awesome. No, it sounds really good, really interesting. I'd love to dig deeper in future episodes and stuff, because it is super interesting. It'd be nice to have Michael on board as well, and potentially Jamie. Probably need a bigger desk. No, coming back to Imani's question from Morocco, we've seen the change of like the industry in terms of the massive payouts. At first, when we first launched, it was so much hype around these massive payouts. I think the industry and the perception from the traders has changed in terms of it is more valuable now to have consistent results in trading, and people seem to respect that more than the traders who get one, for example, 100k payout, 200k payout, no matter what the number is. Do you reckon that's true? Do you think traders are starting to respect the more consistent results than they are the big one-off?
I think it's important for us as a prop that people have kind of consistent payouts. I mean, ultimately, we're a research company. We're looking for, consistent strategies and ways to use those strategies potentially in the real market. Ultimately, that's our goal as a company. So I would say it's important for us as a company, but from the trader perspective, I've seen a shift on Twitter to people who are kind of more showing off this idea that they're taking $1,000 a week out of the market, or $1,500 a week out of the market the majority of the time. And I think there's more hype around that these days than there was the 100k or so.
There's going to have to be, because that's the whole industry changing towards that. These days of the influencers getting these large payouts and showing off about it to try and generate traffic and hype and things. That's dying down now, because those props aren't around anymore, aren't going to be around anymore. So the serious players in the market like ourselves are going to be wanting people who are going to be there for the long term and aren't just trying to make a quick punt or a quick gamble. So, the behaviour is going to have to change, because there won't be a home for people who want to just punt their entire accounts on, a single trade. Yeah,
so do you think the actual culture of the industry is changing? I know obviously there's been quite a few changes since the turn of the new year, but do you believe there's been a culture shift taken on board by traders too? To take on board all the...
It's like a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? A trader's going to change the behaviour because the firms don't want bad behaviours, or traders becoming more sensible because it's a sort of maturity phase of the industry. I don't know, but it's going to lead to the same outcome.
Yeah, and I think that leads really well into how do you think the culture's changed from when you first started the company in 2021 to now? How do you think that sort of adapted to what your initial beliefs were to where you currently see your beliefs on the industry? And
Well, I mean, it exploded, funded trading, 2022 and 3. It just went wild, and everyone wanted to be involved in it. I mean, we always set ourselves up to be sustainable and want people who are interested in longer-term trading goals. But at the same time, we wanted to trust traders. Said, we won't put any rules or restrictions on you, but there's this implied sense of responsibility where you're going to sort of just trade the capital, and you're just going to essentially, keep things going for the long term. And then, we saw a large amount of sort of boom and busters come in as well, which has caused problems for the industry.
So why do you think that sort of mentality has come into the industry? Is it just because it's grown so fast, or because people have seen loopholes in the system? What's the reason? Why do you think?
Well, because of it, it's interesting. I think it's a case of it's just reinforcing. You see these people, because you take 100 people and two of them trade high risk. 98% of them may fail, but the 2% who end up with a really big payout, that gets more attention, because a $60,000 payout is going to get more attention than a $1,000 payout, and it just sort of reinforced that behaviour. What did you do? Well, I did this, and this, and then more and more people tried to attempt it. So it's just trying to slow that down a little bit now.
No, but it's sort of nice from my perspective to see the audience and social media's actually come to terms with the fact that, look, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yes.
Like I've seen so many people get called out on their massive 100k payouts, and they know it's not realistic, and it is achievable, but it's not the everyday kind of results.
Not achievable in one day.
In one day, yeah. So I think it's really good to see the atmosphere and the tone changing in the industry. Yeah. Would you agree?
I would agree, yeah. I mean, ultimately, if you to frame it into a question, would you rather make $500,000 now or $10,000 a month forever? And I think that when you do the maths, you'll figure out that the $10,000 a month forever is
500 grand sounds good though now.
It's 500 grand.
It's like a lottery do that, don't it? A lottery do that. Do you want 10 grand a month for life, or do you want the thing? And I always thought, well, I'd want the 10 grand a month for life.
I would too. Yeah. I think it's more sustainable kind of.
That's to earn it instead,
security. Unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, you can invest the 500 grand, but I don't know. I mean, 10 grand. It's
Consistently, yeah. It's
yeah,
amazing.
five years.
It's
You've
with
got
the risk.
500 grand there, and then you can invest that along the way.
It's with the risk profile, though, isn't it? And what's the probability of making the 500 grand versus the 10,000? You know, it's much lower risk to try and make a sustainable income, and just little and often. You know, I always say to people, are you looking to trade like this week and for the next couple of days, or this week, or are you looking to trade for months and years? You know, try and have that longer term mindset rather than trying to snatch money straight away.
No, it's been really good. I think this question has really helped us go into some different avenues, and I'm really happy with the way that the industry is evolving. I know not everybody is super aligned, and they're kind of the people who probably are long in one, like short in the other account. But no, it's really good to see the industry change and evolve, and we've had some great success stories so far from both business and from both trading point of view. So I'm super excited to see where the future leads. And no, it's been a great little episode. I really appreciate you guys coming on and speaking about it. Is there anything else that you guys want to go over before we finish?
Not really. Just why have these bottles got these stupid things attached to it now?
Anti-choke.
Yeah, so it's like up in the nose when you're trying to drink.
Probably do you good. Probably do you good.
Yeah, brilliant.
But no, thanks to everybody at home for watching another episode of We Are Funny Trading Plus. We hope you've enjoyed as always. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe. Let us know any comments you've got in the section below, and we'll see you next week.